Welcome back to Timberborn. It's been a while since I've played this, and so let me sort of remind myself what is going on here in Cogstown. So this is Cogstown over here. It's next to this dam, the Grand Dam that we built to sort of hold back this little tiny reservoir up here. It's not that much though, and I think we learned that during longer droughts, this is just not enough to keep these beavers in water. These water pumps, they pump this area out really quick. I can release a little bit more, but it's just not enough. So, in the last episode, we came down here, made a new district, dammed this up, which means that now we can pump water out of this very deep channel, which lasts a little bit longer than what we can do up here. But this also had the added benefit of backing the water up all the way up here, which means that this area is now green. And so I think that our main goal now is to extend our colony to a new district down here that can mine metal. We can mine scrap metal from this old, dilapidated human city. And at the same time, I would love to make this place more self-sufficient. Right now, they're still bringing in a lot of stuff from the outside. We've started sort of setting up a logging economy for them, but they have no food economy whatsoever. All of the food in their food storehouses, that's a lodge, all of the food in their food storehouses is being shipped in from the outside. So that's not good for these beavers. We should give them a little bit more self-sufficiency. So why don't we start with the self-sufficiency down here? So right now, this district has 9 beavers in 9 houses doing 9 jobs. And it's very, you actually, like, that can't last. A structure that solid is actually naturally very brittle. Because one beaver dies and then something's thrown out of whack. So what we want to have is more beavers to run the food economy, but also just more beavers generally, just like some flexibility. You want, and I think one of my YouTube commenters at one point suggested that you really want to have unemployed beavers in your town because it gives you some slop room for when a beaver dies. Somebody else can take up their job, is ready to go. You don't have these long periods where you're struggling to find workers because, beavers, because I tend to build houses in big chunks, that means that the beavers have babies in big chunks, which means they also die off in big chunks. It tends to be kind of spiky. So you want to have enough room to sort of support that spikiness. So it looks like we've got a lot of arable land around here, some of it full of trees. So maybe step 1 should be that we should set up some logging around these trees to sort of, break them down and get them out of the way so that we can so we can still, get some logs out of them, but use that area for farming. So let's extend the path from here, add a staircase. And so this town is very specialized in building, so I'm expecting the building part of this to happen pretty quickly. And let's see here. So let's say that down here is going to be my farmland. But because this area up here, if the water drops at all, this area is going to be the first to dry out because it's higher elevation. This lower elevation land is going to be more consistently watered. And so I think that if we're going to build our farm houses, we should build them up here. So let's have, that makes me sad. So I really appreciate, I'm going to break this. I really like it when sort of the side of a building that the door is on lines up beautifully with where I want to put the paths. Sometimes it doesn't quite work out, and it's actually worth it to me to do more expensive paths just to make things look a little nicer. So I'm going to extend that path onto a platform so that when I stick a farmhouse on it, it lines up beautifully like that. I'm honestly tempted to build something over here too, but that would cost us some arable land over here, and we've already cost a little bit. There was going to be a path here either way, so I don't worry about this arable land being cost, but I don't want to eat up too much of this stuff. So I think I'll just put, instead of having them face each other, I'll just put 2 farmhouses in a row right there. And then we're going to want to get rid of the trees on both sides of this, partly just to bring the logs in, but partly, just have a lot of land available. So I think what we're going to want is a bridge. So let's actually do that. And now we could just build platforms across, but I'm kind of amused by the idea of this actually being a proper bridge, like a suspension bridge. So let's cut that. And that's not a bridge. Let's put a bridge over here and a bridge over there. Now, I don't know if the beavers have to be able to get over here first before they can build this bridge, if they have to build it from this side. I like the way this looks, nice and symmetrical. We might have to replace it with a 2-slot bridge. Unless, I mean, it does make sense to try to interconnect these paths. Right now, I've built all of this tree space over here. But maybe I can sacrifice a little bit of this. Let's see. So this was a chestnut tree. Okay, so let's uproot these trees. And let's make this high priority. And then let's let the beavers start moving at top speed. So we'll get out of nighttime. Beavers will start going to work. And the first thing they're going to do is clear these trees out. And then we can... Actually, let me... Oops, that was a little bit too far. Let's trace out the path that we want to take here. I think this one needs to be raised in priority. That one needs to be raised in priority. Let's get rid of these stumps. All right. So now, yeah, we'll just trace a path through here. And then stairs down. Okay, so that should theoretically... Actually, let me make this... Again, we'll cost ourselves a little bit of land just to get the stairs pointed in the right direction. And then we'll interconnect everything. There. Actually, I think I prefer that. Just cling into the wall, leaving a lot of open space for forest. All right, so with that done, now we want to place some logging locations. Oh, but right now, okay, we actually have some beavers who took this job. Why? They stopped working as builders because I made the builder lower priority. So they stopped working as builders and started working as these guys, except there's no food for them to grow yet. So that was dumb. Let's pause these buildings until we're actually ready for people to do stuff with them. But instead, let's build some logging sites that can reach both sides of the river. And then let's just chop all these trees down. Let's just chop down everything over here. Let's chop down everything over there to make room for a lot of farmland. But one step that I skipped was getting enough beavers to do all this work. So let's build some more beaver housing. The double lodge, which costs 150 science, which we can easily afford. Oh, it would be good. It would be good, except that its entrance is on the wrong side. Dang it. Okay, we know what I want to do. Let's kill that logger. I mean, not literally. And then let's build one right here. And we could even build another one right here. And then we can build a staircase up here. And then that will line up perfectly. Wait, no path? What? Why does that say no path? Oh, right. Because a bridge doesn't, this looks like a path. This is actually, you can't, a beaver can't jump this obstacle right here. So I can't stick anything there. So that's fine. That wasn't important anyway. And then we can build this little apartment complex right there. And how many beavers does that support? 6 beavers. Okay, so to do all of this work, we want 4 more beavers here. Maybe 2. So 6 beavers does feel like a good amount, but we also wanted a little bit of slop, a little bit of extra beaverage to sort of potentially cover, cover potential losses, things like that. So I'm actually inclined to add 2 double lodges here. And what? So the doorway to this is up here. So I need to have some kind of access there. And the question is, how do I want to arrange this? So I could just stick a staircase up there. That would be the simple way to do it. But when have I ever liked doing things the simple way? I could also do that, and then put a staircase here, and then just have way too many paths. That is absolute silliness, actually. Yeah, that is silliness. I don't think we want to do exactly that. Instead, let's actually kill access to this workplace. And you know what? I should be using this tool instead. Let's do that. And that. And now let's just have one path right here. And it's... Oh, wait! Oh, dang it! I forgot that this needed access to the road. I can't do it that way. Dang it. Oh, and I've got there's no undo button. You can't back out of stuff like this. So I just demolished that stuff for no reason. I do need to have a path right here. I just didn't like just the sheer amount of pathage that was going on over here. It just seemed like silliness. But what can I do? You know what? Okay, here's something I can do. Let's not have that there. And instead, let's have a single staircase that serves both this and this. Let's have a staircase. I almost want to have the staircase all the way over here, honestly. I'm just trying to think. We're to the point now, this is not about efficiency anymore. This is just about aesthetics. This is just about me wanting it to look a certain way. Yeah, I'm actually... Can I do even more weird stuff here? Let's see. So this is still wasteful. I'm just being silly at this point. Whatever, I don't care. We'll just do this. This is fine. This is silliness. Okay, so let's definitely prioritize the stuff that will give us back access to our builder's hut. And then everything else can go whatever order it wants to. But once we've got some more housing here, we can either consciously move beavers from Cogstown, which has 10 extra beavers right now. Or we can just let things happen naturally. Just let the beavers breed and see what happens. So you can see that my loggers are already working. They're slowly chipping away at these dry forests, which means we've got some waiting to do over here. So let's start thinking about how we want to plan this district over here. So one thing that I need to know first is, how far will the beavers from Cogstown travel in order to work? How much can I build before I build the district here? So that involves tracing a path all the way over here. And actually, I don't know if I want that particular path right there, because I think I want to bring the staircase here. Okay, so they will build this staircase. So let's click on the district center and see. Okay, it's just starting to turn red here. So they will build this staircase. They'll probably go a little bit further, but they'll stop somewhere, I'm betting, short of this river. So let's see. Let's build a path out here and see where, once they've finished this staircase, we'll see where the line stops. And that's where we're probably going to put our district gate and then start, building up a new district over on this side. Oh, let's see here. Okay, yeah, so we do have a couple sources of entertainment over here. That's good. And wow, these beavers are freaking industrious. Look at these guys. They've already built all this stuff. We were not even... We didn't even look away from them for a second, and they just already built all this stuff. So now, they've got 15 empty bedrooms. So, you know, they're going to be fine. But they have 4 jobs that are left undone. And once we unpause these places, they've got 8 jobs that are undone. So let's, because we've got 10 free beavers over here, which is, oh, we have fewer free beavers over here now. We got 7 free beavers. Let's send them some beavers. Let's send them like 6 from Cogstown to Grand Fork. Now that doesn't, that puts Cogstown in a position where it's going to need to breed some beavers real quick in order to replace their losses. But that means that this place is actually, it's now got some farm workers. But that means I need to place some, let's place some crops. So these folks so far, what does their diet consist of? They've got berries coming in. They accept carrots, but I think I never actually got the other guys to ship them carrots. That's okay. We don't have to. Okay, so what we need, okay, what we want to do is build up their carrot growing. So let's plant carrots. So what can this reach? This can reach really, really far. This one can reach a little less far. Let's actually, yeah, so let's have them grow carrots fairly close to where they work. And then, should we actually extend it into potatoes? I would need to build a grill, but, you know, I like building random things. Yeah, let's give them some rows of potatoes, too. There we go. So, what that means is, well, hopefully, we'll get the carrots going. Fill up the larder with carrots. Maybe we'll actually switch this out. Like, have them eat all the berries. Stop shipping in new berries. Let them eat all their berries. And then replace this with potato storage. And then once we've done that, we can start grilling the potatoes. Or maybe I'll just build a potato storage now. But we'll use that berry storage for grilled potatoes once we start grilling those potatoes. So I'm trying to think, what is, again, the most efficient use of space here? I'd have to lose some farmland to put it here, but it's just, it looks so nice right up against the cliff like that. And we could also build a little thingy on top of it. Yeah, I think this is what I want. I think this is what I want. So we're going to have to remove that. I'm going to have to build a platform here. Hey there, Paroxicus. Paroxicus just joined us in the chat alongside Rosenberg. Good to have you both here. And let's see. So what I wanted to be able to do was build another one of these up here across these buildings. But to do that, we need to let beavers climb a staircase. So maybe what we'll do is, this is all horribly inefficient, but honestly, like, it's kind of nice to have it look like a little bit of a warren, right? Like that feels beaver style. We'll do that, and then maybe we'll even put like a little beaver statue up here. Like, hey everybody, if you come to this place, you get to look at a beaver statue. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? Look at that. That's so pretty. Okay, anyway. Oh, and this, when it's ready, will be potato storage. Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew. There they go. There's potatoes. Oh, Wargunny's here too. Hey there, Wargunny. Okay, so beavers have finished the staircase. Let's see how far they're willing to travel for work. Oh, well, they will go all the way up here, which means they will build a bridge. They'll build a bridge. I don't know if they'll go much further than building a bridge, but they will build a bridge. So let's stick a bridge over here. How long does it need to be? Is this, looks like 4 to me. So let's unlock the 4 tile suspension bridge. Yep, it will be 4. So let's delete this so we can start the bridge. let's build that suspension bridge and see if they'll cross all the way across that bridge. If they will, that's great. We can put the entire other district on the other side of the bridge. If not, then we have to probably, if like the line stops halfway across the bridge, which it might, we'll have to put the district gate on this side and maybe even the drop-off point on this side. Peroxica says, hook us up with a potato berry cobbler. Scrumptious. Yeah, honestly, like having spent so much time in Project Zomboid, falling in love with its cooking system, I kind of almost wish that I could come up with new beaver dishes to have them cook. But that's too much complexity for a game like this. In a game where you're playing a single character, making a bunch of random food for yourself makes a lot of sense. In a game where you're managing a vast community, like cooking specific things, that's a level of detail that doesn't make any sense. Kind of how I felt about the what's it called? Alpha Centauri. The unit editor in Alpha Centauri was neat and fun, but it took me out of the game that I was there to play. You know, it took me out of like when I was building units, I wasn't managing a society, and that game was about managing a society. So it actually felt like the unit builder was a little out of place in that game. Oh wait, you can't build this without metal blocks. Okay. Pause. So someday, I would like to have a bridge like that. That looks really cool. We can't build it until we've built this district. So what we need to do is build a temporary bridge that looks like garbage and isn't nearly as cool across like that. I mean, I could also do I think the bridges that are 2 tiles long would work fine here. I could do 2 of them, but I kind of now like the idea of having a bridge that depends on metal leading to the metal place. So eventually the path will go across like this, but we're going to have a temporary path that subverts that path, and we'll see how that works. And eventually we'll delete this and just have the bridge. And it will look all cute like this bridge. All right, so it'll take, some days for us to establish that these folks can grow their own food. So we're going to keep them dependent on berries from home for a while. Though it does make me think it might be smart of me. Okay, I am asking for carrots, but I think maybe I'm not distributing carrots. Yeah, okay, so let's add a new route. Let's add a new route from Cogstown to Grand Fork. That means they will ship carrots. So let's just start building up the carrots here. So these, these beavers develop a taste for carrots. And then, yeah, like all the right-wing beavers are getting upset that they're letting their beavers get a taste for carrots, and now they'll expect carrots from the government. Oh, these guys, what are these guys upset about? What's your problem? Oh, you're hungry. Well, why are you carrying that big log? Go get some food, you dummy. Go eat. I want to watch you eat. Take care of yourself. You need to take breaks. We're not monsters. Okay. Oh, looks like, what are these that I'm growing up here? Chestnut trees? It looks like my chestnut trees need to be filled in a little bit over here. Here we go. So what was our plan with these chestnut trees? It looks like we've got a lumberjack up here who's going to start to run out of trees to chop down. Oh, but wait. If we're growing chestnuts up here, I'm betting that's because we intended to actually use them for food. So I'm going to extend the area in which we're growing the chestnut trees like that. But then let's retract cutting the chestnut trees from this area so that we can let them flourish. And then once there's enough of them, we can swap out this logger for a gatherer to gather the nuts and use them for food. Kind of like we originally intended to do down here before we were forced to cut them in an emergency. But I think they are coming back. How much longer? Looks like we got... Okay, how does this work? I don't know. I've got a gatherer here who looks like... Okay, they are gathering chestnuts regularly, so that's cool. All right, looks like this place is probably taken care of. All right, so we're getting close to finishing this kind of lame bridge. Yes, Peroxicus. Opening your can of government carrots. Okay, so now we've got... yes, okay, so the line stops halfway across the bridge. So that's not how we want this to go. So let's have a look. Okay, where do we want to stick our drop-off point? Let's just figure out where we're going to want it. So we need it on this side of the bridge. I mean, kind of ideally, I would have put it right here, right next to the bridge, if I hadn't had to build this secondary bridge. Oh, I should have built the secondary bridge on this side because, oh, that just doesn't look all that good. Oh, I don't love this. Ah, the aesthetics. The aesthetics are killing me. Okay. That's fine. It's fine. We'll live. It'll be okay. Oh, wait. No. That's the wrong height. Wrong height. Let's build a platform here. Because I just love things to be right up against cliff faces. I don't know what my deal is, but I just really, really do. Okay, so we'll have a drop-off point here. But it's going to be behind a gate. And the gate goes right there. So now, this drop-off point is connected to nothing. It's still close enough. These beavers will still build it. But what we're really going to want is a new district center over here on this side. And so now, let's call this Human Town, maybe? Or Humanton? We'll call this Humanton, because this is in the old human city. Humanton is out there. So Lead Bruton suggests that I need to be careful. That maybe, if I grow too many carrots, maybe there will be rabbit attacks. I mean, I wouldn't put it past the rabbits. You know how they are. But, all right. So what are we going to need for this place to be able to function when beavers first arrive here? We are going to need, and again, because beavers can go halfway across this bridge, there's a little bit of slop room where they can go further if they want to build things. So if I build things along this sort of riverbank area, beavers from Cogstown will work on it. Beavers from Cogstown will build it in advance of the new beavers that arrive in Hoobinton actually moving in. So, and when I just posted the video of my sort of previous of basically when I first started building Grand Fork down here. Oh, drought coming. Only a 3-day drought. We'll be fine. But I posted that video talking about, how it took some time for me to, I think that the district feature, the fact that they sort of divide your community into separate municipalities that are managed independently, I think that's a really good thing. I think that any colony sim like this runs the risk of getting really, really big and unmanageable, where all the numbers are so big and all the problems are so big that it's hard to solve local issues because it kind of drowns in the sort of the sea of larger problems. And so setting it up this way is a really good idea because it means that we have to constantly subdivide our community into manageable chunks, and they can tune the game to make that manageable chunk fun to work with, and then rather than having always inevitably growing beyond the size at which the game is fun, you just start diverting your focus to multiple fun to manage communities. So it's a really good feature, but it's so unusual. I mean, I'm sure that somebody else has done something like this before. I mean, I'm not saying it's entirely original, but it's not like the other colony sims that I've played. A lot of them don't subdivide the same way. I guess Floodland does too, come to think of it. But my point is, this is unfamiliar, and it can be difficult when you're a brand new player to figure out exactly what you want to do. A lot of us lose. Our very first district ends up being just a failure, and all the beavers die because we don't put the level of preparation in that it takes to make it succeed. So, this is going to be a berry place. This is going to be a place for logs. We're also going to, let's see, we need to have a place to store water. So basically, the main thing you need to do is think ahead to what are the beavers in this new place going to need in order to survive. And then you want to provide storage for all of that stuff first. Before you've even brought a single beaver in, you want to provide storage for all the things that they need. And then build that storage and then build up a pile of stuff in the drop-off point. And then when you move beavers in, their first job is move stuff from the drop-off point into their storage, and then they've got a supply of stuff to live on while you're working on building up everything else. So food and water are the most important. You also want construction materials to be able to come in. And then, while we're putting a bunch of yards out here, these people are going to be collecting scrap metal. So let's have a scrap metal yard. Let's also have storage for planks, because we're going to need planks in order to build local things. And we'll worry later about whether we're going to be refining the metal here on site, or if we're going to be sending the metal back to Cogstown to be refined. That's a question we can answer later. Okay, so if we want these beavers to be mining this, we need a place for beavers to live. We need stuff for them to store the equipment that they're using, and a place to store their food. I think we've got all of that thought through. I think let's presume we're going to try to give them some dietary complexity. So let's give them 2 storages up here, and of course I have to make this complicated because that's how I roll. And then we need to build them a place to live. So let's build this like that. And then let's also build them a smaller one down below. And how do we want this to work? Just occurred to me, I did not come up with a really great way to get them up on these things. Okay, hold on. Maybe not this one. Maybe what we want is a skinnier one, like that. And then we can just build... Okay, so 10 beavers can live here. And they've got enough storage for all their stuff. We need also... Oh, we still need entertainment for the beavers. So let's put a... Okay, so eventually we might want to put a storage here for the metal that they're collecting. So let's... not put their campfire right there. Instead, where does the campfire go instead? Let's say that the campfire... Like we want a campfire. We also want a rooftop lounge. And so where do I put a rooftop lounge? I think maybe... Okay, maybe what we want is another random storage here for something. I haven't decided what. And then we can build... Again, I'm just making this a lap... Like, this is inefficient, the way that I'm doing this. This is not the best way to do this, if your goal is efficiency. However, if your goal is to solve weird, fun problems that you created yourself, trying to navigate beavers to weird, Warren-like structures, then this is exactly what you want to do. And this is what I want to do. This is how I like to play. So, to get up to here, okay, so we want to have... Let's put the campfire here. Let's have the path that leads to it be here. And then let's have the staircase that leads up to this upper level. Oh, I mean, we've already got a staircase, but I'd like to have 2 so beaver can go multiple ways. Be there. Brilliant. So Led Bruton says, so this game is like a beaver version of old classic Transport Tycoon, SimCity and Sims. It's got a lot in common with those in that, building sort of the industry and the homes and the entertainment and then routes to get there is sort of key to the experience. The main thing that actually sets this game apart, it's not just that the characters are beavers. There's a reason that they're beavers, and that's because if you're new to this game, it's because this game takes place in a giant fluid dynamics simulator. So water flowing is really, really important. And so beavers are able to build things like this dam that holds back the water for use during droughts. And so you're saying in 2 days, we're going to have a drought come in, and then this water source up here, this making all this water flow down, is going to stop. Normally, this entire channel would dry up, but because I've got a dam here, this water will be held onto. Because I've got a dam here, this water will be held onto. And because I've got a dam down here, all of this water will be held onto. Now, they'll be pumping the water out slowly but surely to feed their crops, to feed them, to keep themselves in water. So this water will slowly go away. So if it's a long drought, the dams might not save you. And that's why you have to build bigger and bigger and more elaborate dams in order to provide more water to more beavers for longer droughts. So that's the real problem you're solving a lot of the time. Okay, so we decided this was berries. Let's decide that this is carrots. And then let's decide that this will eventually be potatoes. And then, okay, then district distribution limit. So we have not actually started shipping things here. So we definitely want to bring in 100 berries, max 200. We want to have enough of the cheapest food to keep these guys going. We're also going to want to bring in logs. So let's say that anytime we don't have 50 logs, we bring in some logs. We're going to want planks. So let's say anytime we don't have 20 planks, we bring in some planks. And then we're definitely going to want water. So anytime we don't have 50 water, we'll bring in water. So we set these sort of minimum limits. Like the game is going to try, the beavers are going to try to get that much stuff into this community. And then we need to create trade routes. Now, unfortunately, we've got the distribution centers all the way over here. And I'm imagining the beavers have to travel a long way to get stuff to the drop-off point. I wonder, is it possible to have 2 distribution centers? Is it desirable to have 2 distribution centers? I genuinely don't know. We've got lots of open space here we can't really do anything else with. So I'm kind of inclined to try that out. Let's see if there's any value to that. So let's build a distribution post. Why would it not? Oh, right. It overlapped that thing. Okay, let's build a distribution post right up here. So beavers from Cogstown will be able to bring things to this distribution post, which maybe will have its own trade routes to take things to this drop-off point and feed this district. Maybe. I'm assuming that's how it's going to work. Let's find out. So Peroxicus is making some kind of reference to beavers and ducks driving each other crazy, which I think is a sports thing that I don't understand. But go beavers. Rosenberg says, now when do we introduce the zombie virus? I would not put it past them someday to add an optional zombie mode with the beavers. I think that's probably further down the road. There is a different tribe of beavers that grows new beavers in vats, which is kind of, you got a disturbing body horror vibe, kind of like zombies. So there's a little bit of that sort of vibe in the game already. So, okay, so there's going to be a limit to how much the beavers from the other town are going to build. And so it looks like they might be at their limits already. I don't see any new stuff coming in. So, unless they're just prioritizing this place, which it looks like it's waiting for planks. Do we have planks in this town? Yes, we got lots of planks in this town. So, here they are, bringing all the logs and all the planks. So once they've built this distribution center, they're going to start filling. I'm going to make some trade routes. They'll fill up this drop-off point, and then I can bring beavers into this town to start, basically go the last mile. But when they come here, the first thing I'm going to want them to build is what? I think we probably want to prioritize. Let's grab a little prioritizing paintbrush. Let's build their home first. That's the first thing they're going to need. And then the next thing they're going to want is access to this and these. And this. Actually, wait, building their home is going to be tough unless they do that first. So actually, let's build one water storage and the log storage, and then build the other stuff. Because beavers can sleep outside. They are animals, after all. Okay, so the drought has just hit. So you can see this water is no longer flowing. It's just being held back by this dam. And you see all these dams are now no longer flowing little waterfalls down. And so all the water we're pumping out now is just going away. It's not being replenished at all. So eventually, these areas might dry out. Now, I think this is the first drought we've actually tried to survive with these water pumps going. Though, they're not running right now. How come? Is it because we've filled our water storage? Well, the beavers are drinking right now. I'm wondering if it might make sense for me to build another water storage that's a little closer to these guys. And also just generally, if it might be good to store more water as a general rule here. So let's do that while we're kind of waiting for that other thing to finish up. Let's build a water tank right there. So that these guys, okay, they are pumping. Okay, yeah. So basically, producers will stop producing if they've got nowhere to store anything. If they're local, each producer in this game has got its own local storage, and if it fills that storage up and no one carries the storage away, it stops working. Which is a great way for it to work, right? Like, so it's just, you can sort of naturally, sort of like you just kind of you cap out your storage limit, and then beavers are just sitting on their butts waiting for there to be more room for storage. Okay. So we've got our distribution center. So now let's add some new routes. Let's add a route for berries. Let's add a route for logs. Let's add a route for water. And let's add a route for planks. That will give us the foundation that we need to build this place. And so now what we should see is, yes, the beavers that work here are running up to get stuff. And they bring it here. And then other beavers, or it's the same beavers, bring them to the distribution post. So the distribution post now has 28 berries, 4 logs, 9 planks, and 7 water in it. And so we'll let them fill that up, and then we'll actually move some beavers into the new town. So it looks like this place, it doesn't have a lot of extra beavers to spare. This place has got 4 extra beavers to spare. We don't have a ton, but I think between the two of them, if we bring 5 beavers in here to start, that might be enough to sort of get things going. Or maybe even just 4 beavers. So let's say that we'll have 4 builders here, and we'll just bring in 4 beavers. Okay, so let's say Humanton needs to have, let's see here. Oh, wait. Cogstown, I think, could afford just 1 beaver. And then Grand Fork could afford 4. Okay, so we've moved the beavers in. So a bunch of beavers just came from the other town. Now they're hanging out around here. And they're moving things from this spot over into the actual place where we're trying to store them. And then, but we're also finishing building things. So here we have built our 2 new storage places. That's going to store water. That's already going to store logs. These are all going to store water. That's the only liquid we're dealing with right now. And we decided this was going to be scrap metal. And eventually we'll need to store proper metal somewhere, but we haven't decided where yet. Oh, and they built their little campfire. They're so cute. And they're sleeping on the ground. So they're going to need to build their home, which needs 20 logs. Are we getting logs? Not right now. We're not. I guess we use them to build this. But the more we build local storage here, one problem that I've had in the past when building a new district was filling up the district with the wrong resources. Sorry, filling up the drop-off point with the wrong resources. Like, if you don't build storage very early on in the, storing basically more stuff than you're asking the trade routes to bring in, then what can happen is, let's say you need berries let's say you need logs in order to build things here. But the first thing you asked for was berries, and they fill up the drop-off point with berries. If you don't have a storage in here to move those berries to, the drop-off point will just be clogged with berries forever. And you'll never get logs in to do the building you need to do. And so that's why the first thing I build in a new district is a bunch of storage for all the things I'll be shipping in, so we can clear out space in the drop-off point and get any more stuff in that we need. Folks in the chat they just want to talk about the zombiever apocalypse, which is fine. That works for me. Okay, so it looks like we've built sort of the core stuff. They're working on getting enough logs to build their homes. One beaver has a place. Azajoff. Good old Azajoff has got a place to live. Nobody else does. So these other places, they've got limited extra beavers, but these guys, they do have like 5 beaver children that will eventually grow up to do, jobs around the place, which is great. Oh, look, we're starting to build up carrots. These beavers can eat carrots now. So what I'm wondering is, can I shut off the berry spigot? Oh, let's make this be a water storage place. And also, wait, am I low on food? Oh, what the heck? I let the drought get the better of me. Ah, don't let all our food die. I let a bunch of food die. Oh, I wasn't paying attention over here, and I let a bunch of food die. That was garbage. But also, it looks like I might be shipping a lot of food out of here. There is no food. Holy crap, there is no food here. What have I done? Where have I failed? I must have just I'm shipping a bunch of food out. That's okay. Let's stop distributing food from here because Grand Fork is now self-sufficient on food. They're not self-sufficient on... They might be self-sufficient on water, too. I don't know if they're making enough water. They're definitely self-sufficient on food. So let's not ship them food anymore. These guys are not self-sufficient on food. But there's like literally nothing to ship them now. How far... Okay, we're growing some carrots. How many chestnuts are available? Looks like he's got no goods inside. He's got a bunch of boxes here, but no goods. So it looks like, what can I do in the short term to get these things some food? There might not be much, especially since I've just lost I let the entire potato crop die. Oh no. What can I even do? What can I do? I mean, okay. I mean, I can start okay, we've got a short-term problem and a long-term problem. The short-term problem is beavers are starving right this second. That's a short-term problem. That might be unsolvable. There might not be a way to fix the beavers are starving right now problem. But that's coupled with a long-term, clearly we're eating more than we are producing problem. We got into this situation because we're eating more than we're producing. So I can solve the long-term problem by building up my farming capacity. That's a thing that I can do. But it might be that we have to weather a time of starving in order to get back on our feet. So, okay. Are there non-essential... okay, so the main thing we need to do is make sure that as beavers die, we prioritize the places where food is made. I'm actually feeling... How did I think this was enough food? I'm planting so many trees. How in the world did I think this was enough food? And it looks like we're drinking a lot of water, too. Of course, I guess we lost these pumps for a little bit. This was never enough food. What is wrong with me? Okay. So we're going to, in some of this less fertile terrain, do this. And let's start let's say, okay, let's just, I mean, we're out of carrots. So let's start growing some carrots here. I think we got plenty of potato space. I just ruined it. So okay, beavers, come over here. Okay, so yeah, so this land is going to dry out during a drought. And there might not be much I can do about that. So actually, this might be a good place to farm during the wet season, but during the dry season, this will be dying off a lot. Everyone's starving! Okay, please, yes. Okay, Harvest your stuff. So what I'm thinking, though, is that even though it's less productive for food, because this is going to dry out, I'm thinking that maybe actually I've got the wrong crop here. Maybe this should be sunflowers. Maybe this area around here should be sunflowers, because sunflowers are more resistant. Sunflowers are more resistant to water loss, and they can last through periods of dryness. Whereas carrots don't die as fast. I think potatoes die the fastest. Carrots also die. Okay, the drought is almost over. So there is some hope, but I mean, we're definitely suffering some beaver deaths here. Okay, we need planks over here. It feels weird to be solving like much smaller problems. Planks are a luxury right now. Build this. Build this faster. Of course, not like you can plant sunflowers until there's water there, but still. Still. All these starving beavers, I feel so guilty. I did such a bad job. And the water's also running dry. But we do have, I mean, there is stuff for the water to pump. But we're losing, I feel like we're losing more water than we're gaining here. So we might need to add more pump capacity as well. Maybe it's just that the new pumps we added are just so far away from everything. It's hard for the beavers to find them as useful. So, okay, I'm inclined... Again, this is more of a long-term thing, because I don't think we've got enough beavers to make this happen. But I'm inclined to just build more pump capacity over here. Oh, wait. I think that the doors are on this side. There we go. More pump capacity over here, just because we probably need it long-term. My beaver population, just looking at it. Led Bruton says they're going to call some kind of animal protection agency if I don't solve this. Yeah, we do have serious problems here. So, can the beavers even reach these? Oh, they probably can't. They probably need to... Yeah, oh, that makes sense. Oh, my hungry beavers. And like... Because every solution in this game takes time. Like, you have to be thinking ahead and noticing when there's problems, like you're running low on food. If you're not noticing that when it happens, these guys are doing fine. These guys are doing fine. Actually, I'm wondering, how are these guys doing for food? 168. Is it enough to... I mean, can I build them a distribution hub and send some of this food back? I mean, these guys, they've got potatoes that they can't cook yet. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Let's empty this. Let's build another storage for planks. Over here, I guess. So, let's prioritize the crap out of this. Okay, I need to move this because I think I need this space to build my distribution hub. So yes, okay, they've emptied this out. We're going to kill it. And then we're going to build a distribution post in its place. And now these guys will be able to ship their food back to Cogstown. Oh, holy crap. Bring in more water from the reservoir. The drought's almost over. Okay, this time we didn't lose the frickin' potatoes. They're only a third grown, though. So far, we haven't... It doesn't seem like we've lost a lot of beavers yet, but we can only be on the verge of it. Like, I think that they're occasionally eating. We are making some food. And so they're occasionally eating something. But not a whole lot. Okay, wait, it looks like we've got... Wait, no, do we have... We've got a handful of chestnuts right now. And I assume we've got a place that's roasting them. Yeah, this place is roasting chestnuts. So 3 beavers will eat today from those grilled chestnuts. This is such a disaster. Okay. So far, let's see here. We got beavers dying of old age, but not of starvation yet. Not quite yet. Can the beavers reach these things? Dandelions are going to die anyway, so... Okay. I think the drought is over. Water's starting to flow back in. Let's fill this back up so we can start growing crops up here. We've got this logger here who's still logging, but we should immediately build somebody who can harvest chestnuts. So let's actually... I should have done this already. I don't know what I'm thinking. What am I doing? I'm trying to knock down that tree right there. Hey, somebody come and kill this tree. I don't know if there are going to be... Why are you flooding? Stop that. Okay. I don't know if there's actually mature chestnuts yet here. There might not be any. But just as soon as there are, we want somebody to gather them. Okay, so, and then we could, this is also arable land over here. Can this guy chop this tree down? Yes. Okay, so we got arable land over here. So let's build ourselves another farmhouse. We can just go straight into the farmhouse like that. Let's not do that. Let's leave a little bit of space for us to add more stuff later if we want. Put a farmhouse here, and then again, I think this is a place that's going to dry out a lot. Okay, we've grown a bunch of sunflowers. They're going to take 5 days to grow though, so that's not going to help very much. But again, yeah, like the thing is, this is just such a dry place. Like sunflowers, I only feel comfortable building sunflowers up here. I'm feeling like actually what I might need to do is cut into some of this lumber land to build more farmland. How are these guys going? They take 6 days, but they're halfway there. So 3 days before I get potatoes. 5 days before I get sunflowers. Yeah, I think I might need to cut into this space too. So I have been growing like more trees out here. And I could grow, yeah, I'm growing more maple trees down here. So I've been spreading out my tree situation. Ooh, actually, wait a minute. This place down here, this is going to dry out even less than the stuff up above. This is where I need to be doing my food, right here. So let's put a farmhouse here. Here? Here? Sure. Farmhouse there. If I need another one, I can build it out over the water too. Farmhouse there, and then actually, yeah, let's build a second farmhouse too. Let's say to sort of minimize the amount of space that we're spending on this stuff. Let's build that out over the water. I mean, we got plenty of wood. Wood's not our problem. So I don't mind doing this. So build a couple of farmhouses. This farmhouse is hard to reach. It's really far away, but whatever. And then more carrots, more potatoes. I feel like let's do potatoes. Let's do potatoes near the water. And then let's do carrots up in the slightly drier areas. All right. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm starting to see dying of hunger. They're dying of hunger. Which means there's jobs. There's a lot of jobs being left undone right now. But hopefully, let's just raise the priority of all of the food production. And the water production is already high. let's raise the priority of the food production so that as they die and as they start abandoning posts, we still maintain our ability to make food. Oh, good. We're chopping down that tree. Okay, the berries came back, which is good. So we've got a few berries coming in. Again, we're just eating everything that we're making as fast as we make it here. You know, another thing, if we are producing enough water, which I doubt, if we had extra water, we could plant like irrigation towers to make more arable land. But I think I would need to be more confident that we've got water. And right now we don't have the beavers. Oh man. Oh crap. Yeah, the beavers are abandoning their water posts. Because there's just not enough beavers. They're starting to seriously die. Okay, so we've raised the priority of all the water posts. Because now we're running out of water. See, it's like... Basically, you can get like a cascading failure in a community like this. Where, you know, because one thing goes wrong, other things start going wrong. Because you ran out of food, because your beavers are dying... then other jobs that you were relying on don't get done anymore. And then those also lead to beaver death, just different kinds of beaver death. Okay, yeah, let's raise the priority of this guy. And then we've got these gatherers here. Make sure they keep getting the berries as fast as we can get them. Let's plant more more sunflowers here. Oh, okay, so I was thinking that I should probably end this episode pretty soon, but like, this is... I mean, I guess if we ended it now, it's been an hour. If we end the episode now, it becomes a cliffhanger. And the question is, will I survive in the next episode? You know, honestly... that's kind of what I want to do. So it's been an hour. This episode is over. I thought this was just going to be an episode about planting a new district and starting to harvest metal. That is not what this episode is about anymore. This episode is about a cascading failure across my colony. The breakdown of food production, starvation, death, and nothing being able to get done anymore in the colony. And the question is, can I recover in the next episode? So, if you're watching me live on Twitch, we will be continuing to play right now. But if you're watching this later on when I release it on YouTube, we're going to end it with a subscribe button, with links to other videos, and specifically with a link to the video where I try to fix this problem, and we see if it works.